Jaguars legend Fred Taylor was asked about Travis Hunter and the Jaguars trading up to draft Travis Hunter, and he says that Travis Hunter is a unicorn and a once-in-a-lifetime player. Coach Fred, take a listen.
I just think it speaks volume of the new front office. Having James in there, having Boselli in there, and you throw in head coach Liam. I mean, it shows that they're aggressive, they're looking to win, they're looking to make a splash, and I'm all for it. When I caught wind that it was possible, I was like, let's do it. But even having Travis on our podcast, The Pivot, back in December, I told him to say Duval, and he said it. I wasn't sure that we can actually make it happen, but at the time we were trending number 2 in terms of the second pick of the draft. We won a few more games and took us to the 5th spot. But again, the front, Gladstone, Cohen, Boselli, I think along with ownership, obviously you got to get that signed off by ownership. I just thought they did a great job of bringing Travis in here, who I believe is a unicorn. He's one of those once-in-a-lifetime players that can change an organization. If you can look at the footage from the rookie camp and just recent camp this week, if he makes a mistake or if it's not perfect in his eyes, he gets up there and he does it again. And that's what you want in your rookies. Not only that, but he's going to be one of the team leaders, and it's going to be something that's going to infect everyone, and I believe that's going to be the culture.
Coach Fred, I really like what I'm hearing from Fred Taylor. It makes me excited to see Travis Hunter in a game this season for the Jags. What are your thoughts on his comments there?
Man, if it is, possible, again, like we talked about before, Bailey, how long can he keep it up? And can he keep it up at a high level? I think that's going to be the most that's going to be the key thing. And you hear people talk about it all the time. Guys hit the rookie wall. So, my thing is, if he's going both ways, Bailey, he's going to hit that wall sooner than normal, time because he's going, both ways.
Yeah.
So, again, I've harped on it from the beginning. I just don't know if his frame says two-way player, Bailey. You know what I mean? I just don't know if it says two-way player at the extent that he says he wants to do it. Now, I know management, coach, and the whole nine, they're going to be smart. They're in control of it. He can say and petition to do whatever. But if they say it's only 10 plays here and then the rest there, that's what it's going to be. But 80 plays both ways, offense, defense, Bailey, I just don't know if he can hold up, man. That's a lot of pounding.
I'm really curious to see how Liam Cohen uses Travis Hunter so far in Jaguars rookie minicamp and OTAs. Travis has been exclusively on offense, from what I understand. And I believe that's partly in due to Travis. I think he's more polished at the DB position. I think there's some things that he can still learn. He's such an unbelievable player on both sides of the ball. But I think from an offensive perspective, there's some things that he can polish up here. Liam Cohen says that, and staff say that Travis has a lot more to learn at wide receiver than he does at corner. So I don't really I don't take too much away from not seeing him at defensive back, Coach Fred. But let me ask you, Coach, I think you can really, really speak to this and attest to this yourself here. There's been a lot of heat coming at Travis Hunter, the way he runs routes, saying that he's not a generational talent. He takes too many steps. People are freaking out. I really think he's going to be electric for the Jags. But, Coach, what do you say to all the social media response to seeing Travis Hunter run routes and saying that, he's stumbling, he's not as polished as, people may have think here. He's getting a lot of just crap from videos like this and stuff. What do you take away from that, Coach? And can you break down the truth of all this, social media and what I'm going to say hate, so to speak, against Travis Hunter?
So I've watched all those clips and, there's some technical things that he's kind of, they all false step. You play receiver, baby. You know what I mean? They all false step. Now, I will say that he's got some stuff to learn within the route, at the top of the route, because he'll learn as a DB. Those guys up there, when that arm does that, those guys are coming. They know that's a break signal.
Yeah.
Watch his arms every time. So now I'm settling. Okay, he may hit me with a double move, whatever. And there, Bailey, it's 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 tough to explain, but
Hmm.
that takes that right there going full speed, stop as quick as you can. That takes reps.
Yeah, yeah,
And that takes reps and timing. You got to do it over and over and over. Uh, Kind of went back and looked at some of the Colorado stuff. I mean, to be honest, Bailey, he just wasn't running a lot of routes off the route tree of Colorado.
that's fair.
Uh,
Yeah, absolutely.
so here, having to learn uh, different nuances of how they want their dig ran, how they want their, speed out, how they want their deep out, how they want their comeback. Those are all things that he's got to learn and it's got to turn into muscle memory.
Yep.
Colorado, I think it was more like, all right, run down that 10 yards, dog. And he's standing there, keep going. If he's back there, stop, that
Yeah,
kind of stuff, which is going to be different. It's going to be a little bit different to get used to. But and then the dig route, got to catch that thing away from your body.
yeah.
But those are all little things, man.
Definitely, definitely a lot of nuances. And I didn't play receiver. I played center, coach. So I don't know. I'm not
Oh,
too
my bad.
familiar. No, it's all
No,
good. I'm
thank you.
not familiar.
I've
I'm not.
rest.
I could tell you about Jackson Powers Johnson and the Raiders, but I'm not too in depth. That's why I got you here, Coach, to break down the truth of Travis's mechanics and stuff. But Coach, I was just harping on this, talking about this because there's been a lot of social media outcry about Travis Hunter and stuff and how he's not polished. And you know how fans are; they're going to nitpick the shit out of everything. But I think personally, Travis is going to really work out the kinks. He's still a rookie in the NFL.
Yes.
He's an unbelievable player, but he is a rookie in the NFL. He's going to learn and develop. And man, I think the sky's the limit for Travis Hunter with the Jags. I expect him, probably to play primarily receiver, play a little rover corner, wherever they need him at corner, because we haven't seen him too much at corner at all for the Jags. So it's kind of wait to be seen where they use him at corner. But I think he's going to be electric, Coach Fred. I don't understand all the social media outcry. As long as Trevor Lawrence can get him the damn ball, I think they're going to be just fine down in Duval County, Coach Fred. Agree or disagree to that?
That's the real question.
Yeah.
That's the real question.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Wait to be seen now. I'd like to see, I think Liam Cohen can get the best out of Trevor Lawrence. James Gladstone, the 34-year-old general manager down there, is all in on Trevor Lawrence, is trying to build around Trevor Lawrence is something they talked about a lot this offseason, Coach Fred.
Can they protect him?
Yeah,
can they protect
him? That's the ultimate question, Coach Fred. But going back to Travis Hunter, I wanted to show Liam Cohen's comments on Travis Hunter here in his development early in Jags OTAs and minicamp. Take a listen.
Hunter handling all the information, taking it from classroom to field.
Yeah, I mean, I think so far so good. I mean, he had a couple missed assignments today that, he knew right away. He came off the grass and took accountability for him. The one thing you notice is a guy that hasn't played a ton of football or been out conditioning maybe for the last 2 months because he was on a little bit of a tour. The guy can run forever. I mean, he just kind of goes, runs a route, runs back, runs. I mean, you could tell he's in football shape, and he was, he's done a nice job. Edgar Barrett, the coaches, Ron Milas, those guys have done a great job of meeting with him when they've had time to do so, and Travis has worked hard at getting this stuff right.
Typical coach speak. But I like what I'm hearing so far. The one takeaway I say about that is if Travis Hunter's in football shape, coach, he can play both ways now. I'm not going to say he can't. If he's in football shape, which Travis ain't never had that problem. So I looked to see it. We had Rick Ballou, Jaguars radio host on JB's show this morning. He talked about seeing Travis Hunter and talking to Travis Hunter. He says that Travis Hunter, like you mentioned, is a little bit lighter than you might expect. Probably around the 170, 175 range. He'd be shocked if he's actually a $185. I think there is some weight to be put on Travis Hunter, but a good sign. If he ain't got no conditioning problems, Coach Fred, I don't see why they couldn't play him both ways, no?
Hey, I'm a Florida boy, and I'm just going to tell you, in the next couple of weeks, it's going to be hotter than hot.
He also mentioned that. He mentioned it's hot down there, 95 degrees down there in Duval County. I don't know. How do you think the weather could play into Travis playing both ways, Coach Fred? Kind of illustrate that for people who aren't from the state of Florida.
It's going to be taxing. It's going to be a deal of where he may start the day at 175, Bailey. Mm-hmm. But by the time that humidity hits around period 5, he'll be changing out into another shirt. He'll be down 170. Yeah. Then he's going to be looking for those salt tablets to to try and keep himself from cramping because I'm sure his body fat is second to none. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Uh, so now you run the risk of the cramping portion of it,
right.
and people think the hottest part of the day in Florida is in the afternoon. It is, but that 9 to 11 o'clock hour, Bailey.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, yeah. I see where you're going with this, coach. And you know how it is. Football weigh-ins, you go out of practice, you're 177, you come back at 170. That's just how it is, especially in the
Yeah.
heat. I can tell you firsthand playing in Cheney, Washington, that's exactly how it is. But not like that Florida heat. It ain't nothing compared to that. But yeah, definitely a great point there, Coach Fred. I can't wait to see Travis play for the Jags. It sounds like they're all in on trying to use all of his skill sets on both sides of the ball. And I really hope that they take advantage of it because I think he's a great and generational player, coach.